saving method that has helped me save around $150,000 in the past year. I get paid weekly. You may be getting paid bi-weekly. So for me, I'm going to talk in a week sense, but it may be a 2-week sense for you. I get paid every single Wednesday. So every Wednesday, I look at how much I made, and I look at how much I'm going to be spending until my next paycheck. Maybe I have a bill coming out Friday and a bill coming out Tuesday, and that totals $400. I know that's going to be taken out. 100% that's going to be taken out of my account, or I'm going to have to pay it. I also look at other things that I may do that weekend. Maybe we're going out to eat. Maybe we have a birthday party. Maybe I'm going to be taking my son somewhere, and I kind of estimate how much that's going to cost. So say I'm doing fun activities, it's going to cost around $100. I know I'm going to be spending around $500 that week. I made $2,000. So instead of just keeping that $1,500 in my account for me to spend, and take out and just use at my own convenience, I completely take that out of my account. For me, that's putting it in a whole different bank account that I can't touch. I have to get 2 different accounts at 2 different banks, whatever you gotta do. We're trying to save money here, okay? This isn't very convenient for us, but it's gonna make us save. Now that $1,500 is in an account that I can't touch. So if I get down to the wire in my bank account and I'm like, ooh, I really wanna go out to eat, but I don't have the money, I just don't do it. And it sucks, but it saves you so much money. So to break it down, every time you get paid, look at the bills that are for sure going to be coming out of your account and estimate the fun things that you may want to do in that 2-week or 1-week period. Total that up, and all the other money from that paycheck, send it away. Put it somewhere where you can't touch it. All you have is $500 for that week to spend. That's all you get. You got a penny pinch and you got to budget your money, but you just save $1,500 that you probably would have dipped into. I'm extremely budget obsessed and budget oriented. And to me, it's like an OCD thing, and I have to do it. But it's helped me so much. It's helped me save. It's helped me stop spending money on useless shit that I don't need.
Anyone else in this stage of life where they are rinsing out, drying, and reusing these gallon bags because they're just so expensive and you don't want to waste money on this shit anymore?
I am tired of being an adult. My car insurance ended this month, so it automatically renewed. And when I went to go look at the bill, tell me why it was $100 more than last month. So I give a call to my big pal Jake from State Farm. And I'm like, hey, why'd y'all raise my bill $100? What is going on? And they have the audacity to tell me because inflation and because there's a car shortage. So used cars are worth so much money now that they're having to pay a lot of money on their end for people that wreck. But what's that gotta do with me?
I am so tired of living my life in survival mode because despite having 2 college degrees and making close to $80,000 a year, I still cannot keep up with the cost of living. I still cannot afford all of my bills every month and have to live paycheck to paycheck.
This was $23. That's fucking this. Okay, bacon. Fucking onion. And that. $23.50 at Vaughn's in Southern California.
I live in Charlotte, but I'm in Pittsburgh for the weekend, Pennsylvania. Your gas ain't got no reason being that high and your roads being this poor, okay? I'm about to go to Amish country and get me a little horse and buggy myself.
How much are you guys paying for car insurance? Because why is my car insurance almost the same amount as my car payment? I pay $281 a month for car insurance, and I have not had an accident since 2016. I did have an accident. I was at fault. It wasn't awful, but whatever. So I know that gave me a ding, but 2016, we're coming up, that will be 9 years this year.
So I got laid off today. Yep. What I was fearing most this year because of all the changes happening within the education system happened. And I made a video about this a couple of weeks ago, talking about how a lot of people within the industry are getting laid off due to federal funding being cut, due to various staff reduction, things of that nature. So anyway, I just thought now that I share my journey now that I have been laid off and now I have to really find a replacement.
So a couple days ago, I had applied to Wendy's near me, and I got a text message like trying to schedule a phone interview, and I scheduled it for yesterday at 2:30. So whatever. 2:30 rolls around, no call. 2:40, nothing. 2:50, I'm like, I'm gonna call them. Maybe something happened. I call them, they have no fucking idea what the fuck I'm talking about. And they're like, sorry, sometimes we don't get any notifications for the phone interviews, but let me jot down your info. I'm like, okay, give them my name, my number, yada, yada, yada. They're like, okay, come in tomorrow at 2:30 so you can meet the general manager as well as me. It was a guy, I didn't know what his position was. For my interview today, I'm dressed like you should for an interview. And I tell the girl I'm there for an interview. She's like, okay, go ahead and sit down. I'll be right with you, the general manager. Sure. I go sit down, and a couple minutes later, she approaches me, and she's like, hi, how you doing? I'm like, good. And then all of a sudden, I hear next to me, a booth over, excuse me, I was here first. I'm like, ooh. She had another applicant waiting before me, which, you know, by all means, help her first if she was there first. And she had a little attitude, and she was like, all right, hon, I'm gonna be with you in a second. Let me just knock her out real quick. And she's like, all right. And so she just asked me 2 questions. My name, again, my number, do I have any experience? I'm like, the only like restaurant experience I had was I was a teenager. I worked at Krispy Kreme. So, okay, great. And so she's like, you just have to fill out the application online again because you did it through Indeed. And she showed me how to do it. And she's like, pick crew member. And I was like, well, I applied for assistant manager, not crew member. And she's like, oh, well, that position's filled. Why the fuck are you wasting my time? And so I'm just sitting there, I'm like, okay.
I keep seeing these videos about Americans that can't get a job to save their lives right now. They're applying for hundreds of different places and they are far overqualified, but they can't even get a call back, let alone an interview. And I was thinking about that, and I thought maybe it's the economy, you know? Maybe our unemployment rate is way lower than it has been, but that's not true. Our current 4.1% isn't enough to explain the huge amount of people that are qualified for jobs but can't get contacted back.
Basically, I'm gonna make a little bit of a longer video this time. But I think, like, you know, I can't afford to live here anymore. I have like a falling down 1-bedroom that I pay $13.50 a month for. That's a lot of money to me. And in Seattle, I am pretty much like living paycheck to paycheck, whereas in a lot of other places I would be living pretty well. But of course that's changing, right? Because a lot of cities are just getting more and more expensive and pushing people out, especially with like remote workers and stuff like that. And I'm not on here on TikTok like claiming that I know anything or that I have answers to anything, but I am on here saying that it doesn't feel right. Like, there are so many beautiful things in this city, so many beautiful places, and it doesn't feel right that we can't all enjoy them and we can't all afford to live in a place like this. And also, you know, living amongst this environment where there are just like so many beautiful houses, nice cars, etc., it really makes me feel like I need to have those things. Like, I need to have a bigger house, I need to have a nicer car, I need to buy more things, when actually, like, I don't need those things to be happy, and those things like ultimately aren't going to bring me happiness. It's my relationships and how fulfilled I feel with my work and all of that that's going to make me happy. And, you know, I've just been thinking about these like outbidding wars that people get into, buying houses where they're just like paying hundreds of thousands of dollars over the asking price so that they can get a house, and just all this money that people have, and what it means to spend that much money on a house when there's so many other things we could be doing with that money, and what it means to live in a city where there's just this natural beauty and abundance, but it's just full of people seeking these material pleasures and material status symbols. And I don't know, it just feels wrong, you know. Anyways, I went to Florida to go see my new school. It's in Tallahassee. And when I was there, I was just like, wow, all these people are like me. They're just like, you know, kind of middle class people, maybe like middle/lower class, and still beautiful, still nice, but they don't need like a 10-bedroom house. They don't need 10 nannies. They don't need, you know, all this stuff.
I'm tired. I'm really tired of working nonstop, so that way everyone has what they need to have. I'm just really exhausted. And, yeah. He's asleep back there. It just sucks. And I knew it was gonna suck. It sucks. That's what I gotta say. It fucking sucks being on one income and raising 2 kids and trying to give them more than just the bare minimum. And I feel overwhelmed because I just work 24/7.
I'm just realizing that I have been without a job for 8 months now. But I'm at the point where I took my break, a much needed break, and now I'm ready to get back out there and start a career. I'm ready to start back working. But I'm realizing that these jobs are not willing to pay you what you're worth. $18 an hour for a list of challenging responsibilities is not enough. That's basically minimum wage right now with the way the economy is going. The way that it is and it's going. That's the minimum wage. There's no way in the world a single person will be able to survive off of $18 an hour alone. You would need a partner, you would need a roommate, you would need multiple streams of income to be able to survive. But this is the thing. If everyone moved swiftly with how the way the economy is going, I promise you, look, I promise you, it'll be a better place. We will all be in a better place.
I feel like people do not understand what a privilege it is to be able to move. Like, I am stuck in an apartment I cannot afford, and like whether or not that's my own fault, whatever, but I am stuck in this apartment that I cannot afford because I cannot afford to move, because I do not have the funds to front a security deposit for another place before I get the security deposit back for this place. And I have to decide whether or not I'm staying here for another year in the next 2 weeks, even though my lease isn't up until June 1st. And the way things are in New York City, I can't start looking for a new apartment until like mid-May at the earliest to move in June 1st. So if I decide not to re-sign, I could end up being fucked, and I won't have the money, I won't have a place I can afford. Like, I just don't have the options other than staying here and spending my entire paycheck on rent.
This article stating that the bottom 60% of Americans can't afford a basic minimum quality of life is such a misdirect in the way it's being presented, because 60% is a huge majority of the country. To say that they cannot afford the minimal quality of life in terms of being able to afford rent, housing, putting food on the table for you and your family, and a basic quality of life. And actually, it goes on to interestingly discuss also employment statistics, which are much more horrifying than we realize, because we very often get presented with, oh, the unemployment rate is only 4-point-something%. It's so low, it's come down. But that doesn't equate for people who are living at poverty level with the income that they are making, because there's a huge number of people who are working such low income jobs that it ultimately is still a level of poverty. And there's also a huge amount of people that have jobs but don't have full-time employment. They're unable to attain for that. And apparently the statistic of that is much closer to 24%. And when you look at the constant increase in cost of living, the fact that now we're paying tariffs on things that we're getting cheaper from other countries, so they're now becoming more expensive, it is just absolutely mind-blowing that 60% is already the number, because that number is just undoubtedly going to continue to climb for the entire country.
Living in California is fucking ridiculous, let alone raising a family in California. We genuinely can't afford a home that would fit our entire family of 6. And if it's not the homes that are getting you, then it's your utilities that are randomly just starting to double. And if it's not the utilities, then you can bet your grocery bill is probably going to do it to you. It's like climbing this uphill battle that you'll never win. Luckily, me and my husband were on the same page, so we're leaving California. But how do people do it here? Because you can't save money here. And unless you're some millionaire, you're living paycheck to paycheck no matter what you do. I lived here all my life, and it's sad that I have to leave because it's just impossible to make it here. And then we have our parents' generation telling us, oh, you just need to work harder. It's not the same. Our money now does not go as far as the money back then, no matter what they say. It's just genuinely a struggle, and I don't get it.
I hate the world we live in. I really do. I can't afford a regular apartment because who has fucking $2-3 grand a month to pay for that? So I've been on wait lists for years, literally 5 years, for an income-based apartment. Finally, so close to getting one, right? And I actually could afford it. No, I make too much money to qualify because I got a second job to help pay my bills. So now I make $4,000 too much to qualify. But make that make sense because I just sat here and did the math. If I didn't have my second job, I would be in the fucking negatives after I paid rent and all my other bills. So make that make fucking sense. So either I need to work 80 hours a week to afford a fucking $2,000, $3,000 rent, or work less even though I'm already living paycheck to paycheck. So like, what the fuck do you want? I cried all fucking day when I found out I was not eligible for the apartment. Literally at work, doing deliveries, viciously sobbing. I can't fucking stand it. I'm over it.
The changes I've made in my life recently that have cumulatively, no lie, saved me hundreds of dollars each month. Hopefully these things will inspire you to make some changes and save some money yourself. Number one is we recently switched to using reusable K-cups. We always make our coffee at home using our Keurig maker that we've had for years now. We always thought we were being budget conscious by only buying the store brand K-cups, but even those are way more expensive than just the store brand loose coffee. And so now that we have the reusable K-cups, which by the way only cost like, I don't know, $10 on Amazon. Now that we have those, we can buy the store brand bags and those last way longer than the K-cups do anyways. Not only are we saving money because we don't have to get coffee every single time we go grocery shopping, which is once a week. This bag is going to last us for at least a month. But not only that, but we're saving on plastic too. So that's awesome. Number two is kind of specific to me, but I stretch my lock retwists a lot longer than I used to. When I used to get my locks retwisted back in the day, I would go in and get a retwist and I would just leave my hair out like this. And nowadays when I go in, I'll ask for the retwist and I'll ask them to put my hair into either 2-strand or 3-strand twists. And that makes the retwist last so much longer. Typically, I try to wear my hair in the twist for at least 6 weeks. I can probably go longer than that, but 6 weeks is when I start getting the itch to like let my hair out. And then I'll wear my hair out like this for 2 weeks, meaning that I can go 8 weeks without getting a retwist. And that's a big step for me because I used to get my hair retwisted every single month and I usually pay around $120 for that whole shebang. So now that I have to do it every 2 months instead of every month, that's saving me like $120. Third thing I've been doing is not getting my nails done. And honestly, my wallet has been thanking me for this, but also my nails themselves have been thanking me for this because I was just getting acrylic nails like back to back to back. And my nails, the health of my nails have definitely been suffering. So it's been nice to give it a break for a while. I've been trying to like oil my nails and like get them healthier and stronger again. But yeah, I've definitely been saving money with that because every time I go to get my nails done, I get a pedicure too, so that, I don't know, it usually comes out to like $120, $30. And then I would come back in another like 2 or 3 weeks and get like a fill-in. So that was probably like another $50. So not getting my nails done has been saving me a lot of money each month. And if it's a special occasion, I just go to Walgreens and I pick up some press-on nails for like $7.
If you've been struggling with saving money and you really want to start saving money, save with cash. It's something psychological about seeing that bill, whether it's a 20, 50, 100, whatever it is. It's something about seeing that and spending that and seeing it get smaller. Because see, with a credit card, you don't physically see it decrease, but you know you got money in there, so it ain't no thing to just swipe or just tap it and, you know, do the thing with the Apple Pay and stuff like that. But with that cash, on the flip side of that, when you start to see it stack up and you start to put the little rubber band around it, it really turn you up. You want to keep stacking. You want to keep. Matter of fact, if you were saving $100 a week, you can go to saving $200 a week because you just want to keep seeing it stack up and keep seeing the power. And like I said, it's harder for you to spend that money because I don't want to say you got an attachment to it. It's just the progress is what you start to fall in love with. The process, the progress, the journey is what you start to really become attracted to. Versus when you online banking, you can just, go to do a transfer from your savings to your checking. And if you ain't really disciplined enough to not do that, having that cash is going to make you a little more disciplined. They're going to force you to be a little more disciplined.
Here are some simple things I've been doing to save money. Number one, not going food shopping without a shopping list. I have to be one of the worst supermarket shoppers ever, which is why I prefer to do most of my food shops online. That being said, there's always occasions where I need eggs or milk or whatever, and I always make sure that the moment I step into Lidl or the moment I step into Tesco's, I have a shopping list. If it's not on the list, we're not getting it. The way we've been saving money is by shopping our cupboards. Now, I'm one of those people that I go into my fridge, if it even just looks slightly empty, I'm putting a food shop on the list. But instead, now I shop my cupboards, I try and get really creative with the meals that we eat. We're eating a lot more like pulses and lentils and more vegetarian foods because those tend to be the things that get stuck at the back of the cupboard and never get touched. So we've been really creative. The thing that I've done is I've been getting cash back on every single big purchase I've made. Over the past couple of weeks, I've been setting myself up to go self-employed, which means that I've had to get a business laptop, a business SIM card, and I've got cash back on both of those things. And I think I've probably got about £30 back or £40 back, which isn't too bad. Another thing that's really helped is no spend days. So there's been like 2 days of the week where I literally do not spend a penny. Like either I'm bringing a packed lunch, I'm not looking on Amazon, I'm not looking on ASOS, and that has definitely saved me money because it's those small negligent purchases like a little panini here, a little juice here, that actually really rack up. One of the biggest things that's helped me save money this month is by putting away little drabs of savings in the account that I cannot access.
Stop going to Target. Stop going to TJ Maxx. Stop wasting your money. It is no buy 2025 and we are not buying anything this year. These prices are ridiculous. I'm not okay with them. I'm sure you're not okay with them. So what we need to do is stop buying anything to get their attention. We need to wake them up by not spending any of our hard-earned coins. It's not going to be easy. You have to make a mindset shift. I know you're worried about food. I know you want to go on those concert tours. I know you want to hang out and go to brunch with your friends. But this year we cannot spend anything. We are in survival mode and we are living below our means. If you have pancake mix and peanut butter, guess who's having pancakes and peanut butter for dinner? You are. If you only have tuna packets and cans of beans, guess what? You're having tuna and beans for dinner. Now, you're not starving yourself, okay? If you need to go to the store, you're going to go only for necessities, and you're going to shop small businesses. If you have a backyard, you better get to planting.
I really understand it. I've seen a lot of people do content on the 2025 no buy, and I'm telling y'all, I get it. The name brand stuff, we got to stop buying it. I promise you, it's not worth it. Unless you that girl and that's what you do and you a jet setter, then by all means. But if you a working woman like I am, who I'm a nurse and I work 12-hour shifts, I literally don't go nowhere. I'm telling you, it's a waste of money, and I'm explaining to you why. Okay, so this is my closet, right? These shoes, none of these shoes have been worn. I mean, I love shoes, but be honest with you, these shoes have not been worn, okay? But I do love shoes. I literally wear the same 270s. See, look. These black 270s, I got 2 more extra pair because that's all I wear. But I bought all these shoes just in case. What's the point? Not even just that. I'm gonna also show you this. Okay, 3 years ago, I bought this purse. $3,300. Bought this purse. I worn it 3 times. 3 times. I bought this, and then I bought these pumps to go with it. Never worn these shoes, not one time. 3 years. So, ended up spending almost $5,000 in Louis Vuitton a day. And I've worn this purse 3 times. The shoes, no times. Then, like, my friends asked me, why does my work bag? A Louis Vuitton work bag. Because it doesn't mean anything. It just sits in my closet. So I go ahead and wear it to work. Matter of fact, don't be shocked if you go into the break room in the refrigerator and it's going to be my lunch bag. Because at this point, it's just sitting here. Okay, so one day, try to go to work. Wore these to work. When I tell you, at the end of the shift, I almost had to check myself in because I was damn near crippled. These are not, you can't wear these on a 12-hour shift. These Crocs, these was more comfortable than those Gucci shoes. And look at the heel on this. So anyway, I got all these bags or whatever. Look at all these bags. I got all these bags. Anytime I go out, I just do this. If I go somewhere fancy, I use the same bag over and over again. Why I need all these bags? The question is because I don't need them.
I saw someone on Twitter, not on Twitter, on TikTok, talking about you leave your house and spend £100 immediately. That's what living in London is like. You can't even pop out without spending over £100. It's ridiculous.
So I don't know about you guys, but I spent, a pretty good chunk of my night crying in the back of CVS. I'm on Cobra right now because I got laid off from my job in September, and I've been paying $600 a month for insurance, and just confirmed today that until I meet my prescription deductible of $1,700, the medication I've been on my entire life that makes me actually function, that I need, is gonna cost $412 out of pocket. So I have to pay, I've already paid twice now, $412. And until I reach $1,700, I have to pay $412 out of pocket. And I have to pay $600 for insurance. And I'm literally unemployed. I have the best insurance. What do you mean? What do you mean?
I'm 26 years old, I'm unemployed, and I live at home with my parents. That's not true. I'm 27. When I moved off to college, I thought I was done with living under my parents' roof for the rest of my life. I thought when you flew the nest for good. I remember my aunt telling me, just you wait. And since graduating, I have moved home twice. Once during the pandemic and once recently when I got deported from the UK. Life throws crazy curveballs and you never know what's going to hit you. And it's hard sometimes to come on this app and see 18-year-olds making hundreds of thousands of dollars and seeming to know what they're going to do for the rest of their life. When, for most of us, that is just not the case at all. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to be doing 5 years from now, let alone next week, let alone what I'm having for dinner tonight. But I like to play this game where I think of my life as a movie. And if I was watching all of the events unfold on the big screen that led me to move home, I would be sitting there eating my fucking popcorn, having the best time watching things unfold. All this to say, comparison is really fucking easy, and it's hard sometimes to feel like you're behind. But everyone's on their own timeline, and you can't compare James Bond with Elle Woods. Where did those movie references come from? I don't know. You get my point.
I work retail, and the general sense of just disdain and burnout and fatigue that is coming off of the general public is palpable. Like, it's ridiculous because prices just keep going up. They just keep going up, and people complain about them going up, but then nothing gets done about it. And you know what? They're going to continue to go up. They're just going to keep raising the prices because they can. And I feel like this is unsustainable.
I just came out of the grocery store and I spent $100 on sides, sauces, and seasonings. This was not a regular grocery trip. This was me grabbing a couple of ingredients so that I can go home and make this creamy Parmesan cabbage. I bought 2 heads of cabbage. I did not buy all of my regular groceries, and now I'm afraid because how did we get into this timeline? Like, did I manifest this? Did I quantum jump, quantum leap here? I don't know what I did to deserve this, but I'm not going to lie to you guys right now. I am shocked and I am appalled, and I'm trying to just stay calm because everything is $7 now. Everything's $7 and $8. And Trump said that the price of groceries is down. Is it? I would like to see that. He said groceries are down. Groceries are cheaper than they've been. Just bold-faced Cheeto lies. I don't get it. So anyways, I'm checking out, I didn't want to show everyone that I had sticker shock as I'm checking out, but I had sticker shock.
They crashed out because last week I did an interview and it was between me and someone else and they picked the other person. So I spent a good 30 minutes crying because this is the new normal for me. Every time I put in effort to get a job, they always just pick the other person. I'm sick and tired of always putting in an effort.
Oh my god, this is gonna be... I just got off the phone with my dad. And there was a job that I applied for, I didn't get it, and then at the same company, they started hiring for 2 new positions. There's sirens now. That same company started hiring for 2 positions that, you know, I was interested in. They were creative. I've worked with the company before, and that was like a week and a half ago. They posted that, and I literally had to make a video application and then just email my video to them. I just feel stupid now because now I went onto the website or onto their Instagram to look at that same post talking about the application. What do I find in the comments? That the deadline was on Tuesday. It is now Thursday. I was planning to film and edit today. I've missed the deadline and I just feel like an idiot.
So I got laid off from my corporate job this week, which obviously is a bummer, to put mildly. And I feel like the past couple days have been just like, you know, going through like all the emotions, denial, a lot of rage, and weirdly like a little embarrassment, which I don't know, I was kind of surprised by because I've been working in tech a long time and I know how common this is, especially of late. But now that I'm kind of like a few days out from it, I've just really decided that I'm gonna embrace my severance summer and really lean into it and enjoy my time off.
Man, just when I thought this gas was going down, that motherfucker crawling right back up, man. Hell, at this point, I might just start walking to work. This shit ain't worth it, man. And I got a truck.
I'm having a terrible day. I've cried all day. Now I don't know if I should cut my hair on a pixie or dye it blue or move to Barcelona. I don't know.
This is the only job market that I've been in where you can go to a town hall and not know that the hiring manager is leading the town hall. That you can exceed in both the first interview and the second interview, so much so that they tell you you have a final interview at the end of your second interview. And then during your third interview, they tell you that you made them think about completely different perspectives through your presentation and have really good conversations through your third interview. And still not get the job. So if you're struggling to find a job like I am, please know you're not alone.
American health insurance is such a freaking scam. I pay $300 a month and it covers pretty much nothing. My medications are out of pocket. All I get is a discount card. So, I mean, I guess that's cool, but I'm still paying like $130 a month for medications on top of my $300 a month for health insurance. Then I got an estimate for my doctor's office because I have a doctor's appointment, my first one that I've had in like a year, and it's $180 for the doctor's appointment. Insurance only covered like $50. So just this month, I'm paying like $500 or whatever, probably more, for health insurance that I pay. What is the point of health insurance if it covers nothing? It's just saying, okay, I have health insurance. Whenever I was signing up for this insurance plan, the person I was talking to on the phone, I was like, I need mental health services. That's my number one priority when getting health insurance. He was like, okay, like, this is the plan that's going to work best for you. Granted, I did look through it and like it said telehealth, said behavioral services, counseling, psychiatric covered. Okay, great. Sign up for it. Cool. So I get all set up. 3 sessions are free and the rest out of pocket. And it's between $150 and $250 depending on the context of the appointment.
What is the point of having health insurance?